lesson. Welcome everyone. This is STEM Smart Academy. We are going to discuss the Moi Girls High School, Eldoret, grade 10 mathematics, that is essential mathematics. Before we start, make sure you subscribe, like, and invite your friend to this lesson so that we all learn together. So straight away, we are going to question number 1 of this paper. It's a very good paper, dear learners, that helps to build your skills. A very good essential paper. Question number 1 of section A says, a graphic designer budget allocation is 450,820 shillings. Find the difference between the total place value of digit 5 and digit 2. Is it making sense? Let me see. The difference between, let me just see, the total place value. We know when you talk about digit 5, ones, tens, 100, thousands, tens of thousands. Ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000. No, this should be the total value, not the total place value. I think the question had a small typo. It should be the total value and not the place value. Let us erase this place value. So we want to get the difference between the total value of digit 5 and that of digit 2. So we start by first getting the total value of digit 5. The total value of digit 5 will be given by the digit 5 multiplied by the place value of digit 5, that is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. So we are going to multiply this by 10,000. This gives you a total value of 50,000. Then we also need to get the total value of digit 2. The total value of digit 2 will be obtained by taking the digit 2 multiplied by its place value. The place value of digit 2 is ones, tens. It is tens. So times 10. This gives you a total value of 20. Then the key term here is that find the difference. The term difference in mathematics means subtraction. So we are going to take 50,000, you minus 20, you get 49,980. 49,980. That becomes now our answer. Looking at the choices we are having, ladies and gentlemen, you get choice A for apple as the correct answer. Choice A for apple as the correct answer for that particular question. If you feel you are gaining something in this lesson, go to the chat section and drop a comment saying, I am learning. Go to the chat section and drop a comment saying, I am learning. Allow I go to question number 2. We are now moving to question number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Without using a calculator or a mathematical table, evaluate 24 divided by 3 multiplied by 2 plus 7 minus 2. So ladies and gentlemen, whenever you have a question that has more than one operation, that is, we have here 24 being divided by, open brackets, 3 times 2, then plus 7 minus 2, we are going to follow what we call the BODMAS. We start with the brackets, opening the brackets, have these as 24 divided by 3 times 2, this will be 6, then plus 7 minus 2. After brackets, you go to off, it's not there, then you go to division. We are going to divide 24 by 6 to give you 4. So this will be 4 plus 7 minus 2. Then multiplication is not there, then we go to addition. 4 plus 7, you get this as 11 minus 2, which exactly gives you 9 as the answer. So looking at our choices, ladies and gentlemen, choice B for boy is the correct answer. Choice B for boy is our correct answer. Question number, that is question number 2. That's how you solve it. Allow I have a look at question number 3. Allow I have a look at question number 3. Which of the following measurements represents an irrational real number value? Irrational real number value. An irrational real number value is a number that is either a non-terminating decimal or a non-repeating decimal. When you look at this, the square root of 6.25, this becomes exactly 2.5. The square root of root 5, when you get the square root of root 5, look at it from your calculator. Root 5 gives you 2.2360679. You can see there is no flow. Look at this, 2.23606797977 as it proceeds. So this one, it is not terminating, it is not repeating. Therefore, this one is an irrational number. Look at question C, 22 over 7. 22 over 7 is a rational number because it has been expressed as a fraction in terms of P over Q, where Q is not equivalent to 0. So this one here, choice A is a rational number. Choice C is also rational. Choice D is also a rational. Why am I saying it is rational? 3.14, it is a decimal that is terminating. As long as it has an end, it becomes a rational number. So the one that is irrational here becomes root 5, which is choice B for boy, for our case in question number 3 there. Question number next. That is question number 4. An athlete drinks 4 bottles of water during training. Each bottle contains 650 ml. Express the total volume consumed in liters. So first, let's get if one bottle is 650 ml, what about 4 bottles? So when you take 650, you multiply by 4. This is going to give us 650 multiplied by 4 gives 2600 ml. 2600 milliliters, like that. But now we need to convert it to liters. You know that 1 liter is equivalent to 1000 ml. What about 2600 ml? How many liters will it be equivalent to? You cross multiply. This will become 1 multiplied by 2600 divided by 1000, which gives you 2.6 liters as the answer. Choice A for apple, 2.6 liters. Let us look at question number 5. Question number 5. Express the number 243 in its correct index form with base 3. Let us see how we work it out. When I have 243, I want to get its factors. How many times does 3 get here? 3 gets here 81 times. 3 here is 27 times. 3 here is 9 times. 3 into 9 is 3. 3 here is 1. So 243 is like saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 multiplied by 3, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 3. In index form, expressing in index form, it will be now 3 to the power of 5, where the power is the number of times the number is multiplied by itself. So the correct answer here becomes 3 to the power 5, which is choice B for boy. Choice B for boy is the correct answer for question number 5. Let us make progress. Now we are going to question number 6 of the beautiful paper. Simplify the expression x power 5 multiplied by x power 2 divided by x power 4 using the laws of indices. They are very strict here that we use the laws of indices. One thing I'm going to remind my learners is that a power m times a power n, this is like saying a power m plus n. Then a power m divided by a power n, this is like saying a power m minus n. Those are the two laws that are going to help us execute this particular problem. Those are the two laws. I want to apply the first law. When I have x power 5 multiplied by x to the power of 2, this becomes like saying x power 5 plus 2, which translates to x power 7. Now, because I'll be having now my x power 7, I will now again have, so this x power 5 times x power 2 has now become x power 7. So I'll now have x power 7 being now divided by x power 4. Then applying this second law that I've written here, the division law, this will be like saying x to the power of 7 minus 4, which becomes x to the power of 3. X to the power of 3. And that becomes your answer, which is exactly choice A for apple. You've seen I've solved that particular question by applying or following the laws of indices. So this is exactly how you tackle mathematics questions. Just compose yourself, then deal with the question. Allow I make progress. We are going to question number 7, sorry. Question number 7. A sports club has X members. The number of football players is 8 more than basketball players. If there are 32 players in total and everyone plays one game, which linear relationship matches? A sports club has X members. The number of football players is 8 more than the number of basketball players. If there are 32 players in total, which and everyone plays one game, which linear relationship matches? Which linear relationship matches? So because the total number of players are are 32, a sports club has X members. The number, we have those playing with football and those that will be playing basketball. I want you to analyze that particular question with much keenness. We should analyze the question with the keenness it deserves. The number of football players is 8 more than that of the basketball players. That is where we should get a secret from. So here we are going to say, let the total number of members in a sports club is X. The number of footballers who are playing, the number of football players is 8 more than the number of basketball players, but there are 32 players in total and each player plays one game. So here we need to be very keen. We need to be very, very keen and exactly see what should be here. We need to be very keen as we are going to see what is going to happen here. So what I'm going to say here, I can say let F be the number of football players. Let F be the number of football players. Let their number be F. Then let B be the number of, is it, yes, basketballer, yes, the number of basketball players. I want to agree there. But now because we are told that the total number of players should be 32, that means when I take the number of football players F plus the number of basketball players B, the total should be 32. But again here we are being told that the number of football players is 8 more than the number of basketball players. Meaning when I take the football players F minus the number of basketball players B, I should be getting 8, a difference of 8. So from this one here, we are going to try we are going to look at it this way and try to do substitution. Let me try to do substitution here. Let me see. Think I'm trying to see how this question should be. I've said F minus B is 8 and F plus B is 32. So I can say, if this is the case, I can say if F minus B is 8, let me make the F here the subject of the formula. In equation 2, I can have F being equivalent to B plus 8. And if F becomes B plus 8, now I can substitute it now into my equation here, the first equation. Wherever there is F, I'll be talking about B plus 8. So this will become, now become B plus 8, which is our F, plus B now should be equivalent to 32. Relating this, B plus B, this becomes 2B plus 8 to be equivalent to 32. But now when you look at whatever we are having on our side here, it means we have to assume that then X refers to the number of basketball players. X refers to the number. Excuse me. That one there refer to the number of basketball players. I think the phrasing, a sports club has X members, followed by if there are 32 total, suggest that X might not be, they might be intended to be 32, but the options does not support this. So this question has got its own problem. But now when you look at how we've reframed it, the correct answer is A for apple, though it had its own typo. But the correct answer becomes A for apple. But now in this case, this X here should now be referring to the number of basketball players, not the total number of players in a sports club. I hope that is well communicated. Question number 8. Question number 8. A textile artist deposits 30,000 from artwork sales into a savings account, paying a simple interest at the rate of 5% per annum. How much interest is earned after 2 years? We all know that simple interest is given by principal multiplied by rate over 100 multiplied by the time t. When you substitute, the deposit here becomes your principal. So 30,000 times a rate of 5%, 5 over 100, times the period t, which is 2 years. So you multiply this by 2. So this becomes 30,000 multiplied by 5 over 100 by 2. This becomes 3,000 simple interest. So the simple interest earned is 3,000. Remember, the question is just asking how much interest, not the full amount. So the answer becomes 3,000, which is B for boy for that particular question. Let us look at question number 9, sorry. Find the reciprocal of 0.25 using a calculator or division method. You've been given options. You can use a calculator or division method. By use of a calculator, what do? Just press the reciprocal of 0.25. You press 0.25. Then there is that number with x factorial. You press it, you get the answer exactly as 4. That is from the calculator. But now from the division method, if you have the number 0.25, you change it to a fraction. This becomes 1 over, to a fraction it becomes 1 over 4. 0.25 is like saying 1 over 4. But now when you talk about the reciprocal, these two numbers interchange. The numerator becomes the denominator and the denominator becomes the numerator. So this becomes 4 over 1, which exactly becomes a 4. So the correct answer here is A for apple. A for apple. Let us look at the next question. That is question number 10. Solve for x in the simple quadratic expression. So we are having x squared minus 16 is equivalent to 0. That is what we are having. Once we have it, we can collect like terms, and now the negative 16 crosses to the right. So this will become x squared is equivalent to 16. To get x, what do? You square root both sides. So I square root here, I square root here. Whenever you square root, remember the plus or the minus. So when I square root, I'm going to get x is equivalent to the plus or minus the square root of 16. So this becomes x is equal to plus or minus root 16 is 4. So when you have x is equal to plus or minus 4, it means x can be equivalent to negative 4 or positive 4. X has got now two values, either negative 4 or positive 4. Remember, all these two values must be present for you to get it correct. So the correct answer here is A for apple. Look at choice C and D. This one is wrong. This one is also wrong. Whenever you are square rooting, remember the plus or the minus. So that makes the correct answer to be A for apple and not C, not D. I hope that is clear. Let us look at question number 11. Don't forget subscribing, liking and sharing these videos with your other friends. If you feel the revision is important, drop also even a comment in the chat section telling us how you are following this particular lesson. On a stage layout map, a scale of 1:2000 is used. If the actual length of the performance stage is 14 meters, what is the length of the paper drawing? First of all, I'll have to convert the 14 meters to centimeters, and this becomes 14 times 100, which becomes 1400 centimeters. Then I'll say if if apologies for that. If 1 centimeter on a piece of paper is equivalent to 200 centimeters on the actual ground, what about 1400 centimeters on the actual ground? What does it represent on a piece of paper? Then you cross multiply. This will be 1 multiplied by 1400 divided by 200. This exactly becomes equivalent to 7 centimeters, which is A for apple. A for apple for question number 11. Let us make progress to question number 12. Completely factorize the algebraic quadratic expression x squared plus 5x plus 6. So when I have x squared plus 5x plus 6, when I have x squared plus 5x plus 6, I'm going to look for the sum and the product. The sum should be 5 and the product should be 6. Then the two numbers should be 2 and 3. So let us substitute. So this becomes x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. Then you pair them into 2's and factor out the common factor. So here this will be x into x plus 2 plus 3 into x plus 2. So this becomes, those that are outside the bracket, you wrap them in one bracket. So this becomes x plus 2 and x plus 3. That becomes now your final answer. Looking at the choices, choice B for boy matches exactly what we found. Choice B for boy exactly matches this one here. Let us look at the next part of the paper. That is question number 13. A rectangular art frame has an area modeled by x squared plus 3x is equals to 28. Find the valid practical measurement value of x. The valid practical measurement value. Those statements there have their own weights. So if I take 28 to the left, I'm going to have this equation as x squared plus 3x minus 28 when you minus 28 here, this should be equivalent to 0. Now let us look for two numbers whose sum should be 3 and whose product should be negative 28. The two numbers here, ladies and gentlemen, is negative 4 and 7. Now we are going to substitute those two numbers into the middle value. Let us substitute the two numbers into the middle value. So this becomes x squared minus 4x plus 7x minus 28 is equivalent to 0. Then factor out the common ones. So here will be x into x minus 4 plus 7 into x minus 4 is equivalent to 0. In this case, those that are outside the bracket, you put them in one bracket. So that will be x plus 7. Those that are inside the bracket, you only pick one. X minus 4 is equals to 0. So in the first case, I have x plus 7 is equals to 0. This means x is equals to negative 7. In the next case, I have x minus 4 is equals to 0. This means x is equals to positive 4. So I have two values of x. X can be negative 7 or positive 4. But now after getting them that way, we come and look at it. Find the valid practical measurement of x. You know this is a measurement. It is length. Can you have length that is negative? No. Length cannot be negative. We are going to disregard the negative one and make a conclusion and say that our x now is equivalent to 4, which is exactly choice A for apple. We ignore this one because length cannot be negative. Length cannot be negative. Remember, when you talk of length, this is distance between two places. This is a distance between two places, and therefore it should be always positive. That is how you respond to that question number 13. Allow I look at question number 14 of the paper. Question number 14. I'm seeing many people tuning in. This is excellent. Keep dropping comments. Keep dropping your comments on how you are enjoying the lesson. Let us have a look at that question now. In a right-angled triangle, the opposite side to angle theta is 6 centimeters, and the side adjacent to angle theta is 8 centimeters. Find the value of sine theta. You know, for you to respond to this question, having it diagrammatically represented solves the problem by half already. So this is our right angle triangle. Let me assume my theta is here. The opposite side is 6, so this side is 6. The adjacent side is 8. This is the adjacent side, 8. They want sine. Before sine, I have to get the hypotenuse, and I'm going to apply the Pythagoras theorem. So c squared will be given by 6 squared plus 8 squared. So that is when you take 6 squared plus 8 squared, this becomes 36 plus 64 to give you 100. So c squared is equivalent to 100. Then c is the square root of 100, which is 10. So meaning this hypotenuse measurement is 10. Then they want to find the sine. We are going to apply what is called SOHCAHTOA. When you talk about sine theta is given by opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite side is 6 over the hypotenuse 10. So I have 6 over 10, which can be written in decimal form as 0.6. Exactly, giving choice A for apple the correct answer. Let us look at question 15. We are now going to question number 15. A surveyor looks up at the top of a flag post at an angle of elevation of 45 degrees. If the surveyor is standing 12 meters away from the base, find the height of the post. Let us assume this is our post. That is our post. Then we have this surveyor who is standing some distance away from the base of the post. He's standing 12 meters away and sees the top of a post at an angle of elevation of 45 degrees. They want to find this height of the post. So that is opposite and adjacent. When you apply SOHCAHTOA, opposite and adjacent, you use tan. So let me get tan 45 here. Tan 45 will be given by the opposite, which is h, over adjacent, which is 12. When I make h the subject of the formula, or when I want to remove this denominator, I'll be multiplying here by 12, also here by 12. 12 and 12 cancel. So I'll be getting my h given as 12 multiplied by tan 45. So my h will be, when you take 12 times tan 45, you exactly get 12. You exactly get 12 as your h, 12 meters. So the value of our height is 12 meters, which is A for apple. Which is exactly A for apple. A for apple, ladies and gentlemen. We make progress to the next question. Those who are asking about my number, you can reach out via the number 07 41 30 43 11. 43 11. 41 30 43 11. That is our consultation number. That is our consultation number. Let us look at question 16. Find the area of a triangular courtyard with a base of 15 meters and a perpendicular height of 8 meters. So let us assume we have our triangular courtyard this way. We are assuming we have our triangular courtyard this way. The triangular court, where the blue line is the perpendicular height. So they want to find the area of the triangular. No, not this way even. What have I drawn? It's just a triangular courtyard. So if it's a triangular courtyard, probably it looks like this. This is it. We are having it this way. And the perpendicular height, we have here perpendicular height. So with a base of 15 meters, so the base is 15 meters, and a perpendicular height of 8 meters. And they want the area. So we are going to say area is given by a half multiplied by base multiplied by the height. So this will be a half multiplied by the base 15 by the height of 8. So this exactly becomes 60 square meters, which is choice B for boy. 60 square meters. Let us look at the next question, question 17 of the paper. A circular design element has a radius of 7 centimeters, calculate its total area. Calculate its total area. So it's a circular design with a radius of 7 centimeters. Then they want the area. We are going to say that area is given by pi r squared. So this will be 22 over 7 multiplied by 7 squared. This exactly becomes 154 square centimeters. 154 square centimeters, which is choice A for apple. Question number 18, sorry. The scores of 5 students in a music quiz are 6, 8, 7, 8, and 11. Find the median score. You know the median score, this is the middle value after arranging the data set in a given predetermined order. Allow I arrange them in ascending order. I'll be having here 6, 7, 8, 8, 11. I want the median score. 6 and this, I'll cancel from outside. 6 and 11 I've cancelled. 7 and 8 I've cancelled. I'm left with this 8. So this becomes our median. The middle value after arranging your data in a given order. So the answer becomes 8. The answer there becomes 8. Question number 19, sorry. From a standard deck of cards used in a game simulation, what is the theoretical probability of randomly picking a red card from a standard deck of cards? From a standard deck of cards used in game simulation. What is the theoretical probability? What is the theoretical probability of randomly picking a red card? Randomly picking a red card. So one thing you need to understand, do you know the standard deck? That is one thing that you have to understand here. From a standard deck of cards, what is it that is meant by a standard deck of cards? So when you talk about a standard a standard deck of cards, this is it consists simply of 52 playing cards. This one consists of a total of 52 playing cards. Okay, so that is what you need to understand. It consists of 52 playing cards that is usually divided into 4 suits and 13 ranks. That is what you have to understand. So the probability of randomly picking a red card. What is the probability? What is the probability of picking a red card if the standard is 52? Remember, the red cards are normally 26. I've said the total number of cards. Let me make it clear. The total number of cards for a standard deck is 52. The number of red cards are 26. So the probability of picking red becomes 26 over 52, which evaluates to a half, making choice B for boy the correct answer. So that is what you had to answer in question number 19. Question 20. A closed rectangular storage crate has a length of 4 meters, a width of 2 meters, and a height of 1 meter. Calculate its total surface area. So let us assume this is our crate. The length is 4 meters, the width is 2 meters, and the height of 1 meter. To calculate the total surface area, you take 2 into length times width plus 2 into length times height plus 2 into width times height. So this will become 2 into our length is 4 times our width of 2 plus 2 into our length is 4 times height of 1 plus 2 into our width is 2 times our height of 1. So this becomes 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16 plus 4 times 1 times 2, this becomes 8 plus 2 times 2 times 1, that becomes 4. This is 28 square meters because it is closed. 28 square meters, making choice C for cat the correct answer. And that marks the end of section 1 of the paper. Let us now go to section B, which is 80 free marks. 80 free marks. I'm going to show you how to get all these marks without even struggling. Keep subscribing and dropping your comments on how you are enjoying this lesson. Straight away to question number 21. Kamau is 2x plus 40 years old, while his son Kariuki is x plus 10 years old. The product of their ages is 1200. Write a quadratic equation for the product of their ages and hence find their actual ages. Write a quadratic equation for the product of their ages. When they say a quadratic equation for the product of their ages, their meaning, let us first get the product of their ages. So when I take 2x plus 40, I'll multiply this by x plus 10. So this is the product of their ages. When you multiply this will be 2x into x plus 10 plus 40 into x plus 10. So this will become 2x squared plus 20x plus 40x plus 400. So this evaluates to 2x squared plus 60x plus 400. That is the product of their ages. And this product, the product of their ages is 1200. So this product should be equivalent to 1200. Let's equate everything here to 1200. When you reach here, they are saying, hence find their actual ages. So when I move this 1200 to the right, I'll be having 2x squared plus 60x plus 400 minus 1200 is equals to 0. So this will become 2x squared plus 60x minus 800 is equals to 0. Dividing through by by 2, this becomes x squared plus 30x minus 400 is equals to 0. To get the value of x here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. Allow I use the quadratic formula here. Or even before using the quadratic formula, I think it's going to be just no, let me just use the quadratic formula. Yeah, let me use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is x is equals to minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac. Divide this by 2a. So this will become minus b becomes negative 30 plus or minus the root of b squared, which is in this case 30 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 400. Divide this by 2a, which is 2 times 1. So this becomes negative 30 plus or minus, let us see this. This becomes 900 minus negative 1600. That becomes 2500. The root of 2500 is 50. So this is plus or minus 50 over 2. The first case we are going to have is negative 30 minus 50 divided by 2. And this gives you, let me put it this way. I'll have it that way. Or, in the next case, I'll have negative 30 plus 50 divided by 2. In the first case, I'll be having, when I say negative 30 minus 50, that is negative 80, divided by 2, this becomes negative 40. Or, when you have negative 30 plus 50, divide this by 2, this becomes 10. So x can be negative 40 or 10. But what is x? X is the number of years, therefore you cannot have people's age as negative. We are going to disregard the negative value and make a conclusion here and say that our x should be equivalent to 10 years. And if that is the case, find their actual ages. Let me get Kamau's age. Kamau is 2x plus 40, so that will be now 2 into x, which is 10, plus 40. This becomes 20 plus 40 to give you, Kamau is 60 years old. Then we have the son called Kariuki, x plus 10, so that is 10 plus 10, exactly to give you 20 years. So that is how you get their ages, and that's how you get your 4 marks for that question number 21. Let us now go to question 22, ladies and gentlemen. Question number 22. The floor of a rectangular room can be covered by a carpet costing 200 shillings per square meter. The total cost of the carpet will be 5,600 shillings. Taking the length of the room to be x meters, express the width of the room in terms of x. Express the width of room in terms of x. So the total cost is 5,600. Remember that one square meter of a carpet, let me see, 1 square meter of a carpet is equivalent to 200 shillings. What about this 500? What about this 5,600 square meters? What about this 5,600 shillings? When you cross multiply, this will be 1 multiplied by 5,600 divided by 200. This exactly gives you 28 square meters. So that means that the area of that length of that rectangular floor is 28 square meters. So I'm going now to have it this way. The area is 28. Taking the length of the room to be x, what is the width? Remember, area of a room is given by length multiplied by the width. So this will become, the area is 28 multiplied by the length, which is x. Sorry, 28 should be equivalent to the length. This should be equivalent to the length, which is x, times our width, which you don't know. So to remain with the width, it means to get our width, it will be given by 28 over x. Our width is given by 28 all over x. That gives you the width of the room. Part B, if a uniform width of 1/2 meters is left uncovered all round, the cost is 2,000 shillings less. Form and solve an equation to determine the value of x. So it means the carpet can occupy somewhere here, but this length here remains uncovered. Let me see. So if my width was x, my width I found here to be now 28 over x. Let me first get the new length. The new length will be, because the total length was x and this is a half left, so the new length will become x minus 1 meters. I'll also have to get the new width, which will be given by 28 over x minus 1 meters. After getting these, they are saying the cost will be 2,000 shillings less. If it will be 2,000 shillings less, it means that the cost, from the cost of 5,600, because it will be now 2,000 shillings less, it will be 3,600 shillings. And to get the area of the carpet, you'll be taking the total cost, 3,600, divided by the cost per unit, which is 200. This gives you 18 square meters. So the area is 18. This is the area. Form and solve to get the value of x. After getting this, it means now we are going to have a rectangle. The length is x minus 1. The width is 28 over x minus 1. And the area here is 18. Let us now form a quadratic equation from this statement and solve. That is what the question means. So I have, I know that area of a rectangle is given by length multiplied by the width. So the area 18 is given by the length, which is x minus 1, times the width, which is 28 over x minus 1. So this becomes 18 is equal to x times 28 over x. This becomes 28. X times negative 1, that becomes minus x. 28 over x times negative 1, this becomes minus 28 over x. Negative 1 times negative 1, this becomes plus 1. So this becomes 18 is equal to 28 plus 1, that it becomes 29, minus x minus 28 over x. When this goes, I want to move everything to the right hand side, the x's to the left and the 18 to the right. I'm going now to have x plus 28 over x should be equivalent to 29 minus 18. I've just done the rearrangement. So this x, I can put it as x over 1. What is the LCM of 1 and x? The LCM is x. All over x divided by 1 is x times x. This becomes x squared. Then x divided by x is 1 times 28, that is 28. So that becomes x plus x squared plus 28 all over x should be equivalent to 11. When I cross multiply to remove this denominator, I'll be getting x squared plus 28 is equal to 11x. Now I can rearrange this one to form a quadratic equation. So this will be x squared minus 11x plus 28 is equals to 0. I'm going to look for two numbers such that the sum is negative 11 and the product is 28. Two numbers whose sum is negative 11 and the product is 28. The numbers are negative 4 and negative 7. Wonderful. When you add, you get negative 11. When you multiply, you get positive 28. So, when you are here, this will become x squared minus 4x. X squared minus 4x. Then minus 7x plus 28. Minus 7x plus 28 is equals to 0. So this will be x into x minus 4 minus 7 into x minus 4 is equals to 0. This will become x minus 7, x minus 4 is equals to 0. In the first case, we have x minus 7 is equals to 0. This will mean that our x will be equivalent to 7. In the next case, are all of them negative? Let me confirm. In the next case, we are going to have x minus 4 is equivalent to 0, meaning also x can be 4. So I have two values of x. My x can be equivalent to 4 or 7. Let me see. My x is 4 or 7. If my x is 4, then that, I'm just trying to confirm it. I'm just confirming exactly what is there. So x can be 7 or 4. Determine the value of x. X can be 7 or 4. That is how you earn how many marks? 5 marks. A wonderful question that is testing a lot of things. I hope You've understood exactly what has been done there. Let us make progress. Now we are going to question number 23. Wonderful. Question number 23. A rug placed in a room 12 meters long, 9 meters wide, covers half the floor area. A uniform strip of width y meters is left on bar floor between the edges of the rug and the wall. Calculate part A, the area of the strip. Number B, the width of the strip. Let us see. So we have a rug placed in a room. So we have a room. This is our room. I want we perceive it from this perspective. This is our room. It measures 12 meters and 9 meters wide. A rug placed in a room 12 meters covers half the floor area. It covers half. It covers half the floor area. So if it covers half the floor area, it means that the area of the rug is half that of the floor. A uniform strip of width y meters is left on bare floor between the edges of the rug and the wall. Between the edges of the rug and the wall. Calculate part A, the area of the strip. The area of the strip. You know, for you to respond to this question, if you cannot sketch it, ladies and gentlemen, then you are most likely not going to get it right. That is the truth. That's why we do say most of the mathematical problems are easily solved when you first have it sketched. When you get it sketched, then it becomes a bit easier on your end. Becomes a bit easier on your end. So first, let's see the area of the. Let us see the area of the room. The area of the room will be 12 times 9 to give you 108 square meters. Then, because we are being told that, let me get area of the room. Area of the room. This will be 12 times 9 to give you 108 square meters. Then now, area of the rug. Area of the rug. Because they say that the rug occupies half the floor, it will be a half times 108 to give you 54 square meters. That is the area of the rug. After now getting the area of the rug, the area of the strip is the area of the room minus the area of the rug. Remember, they are saying a uniform strip of the width y meters is left on the bare floor between the edges of the rug. So let me assume this is this is the rug. This part is our rug. Then this unshaded part becomes the strip. So now to get the area of the strip, we are going to take the area of the floor, which is 108, minus the area that has been covered by the rug, which is 54. This exactly tells the area of the strip is 54 square meters. Part B, the width of the strip. Now let us express the dimensions of the rug in terms of the common dimensions and the strip's width by. So I'm trying to see the width of the strip. Now we need to get the width of the strip. So what is going to happen here, to get the width of the strip, because we have the area of the strip, we are going to say, I'm trying to see what is the secret in approaching this particular question. What should be the secret in approaching this particular question? You must be very keen here. We must be very, very keen this particular case, the width of the strip. A uniform strip of width y meters. So the width of the strip is y. Okay. A uniform strip of width y meters is left. So because the width is y, let us get the length of the strip minus twice the width of the strip. So that becomes 9 minus 2y. And when you are at that particular step, now let us set up the equation of the rag. Now the equation of the rag here becomes, because the area, is it really the rag or the strip? Yes, the rag. When I take this area of the rag, which is 54, I'll now say that area of the rag is given by length times width. So the area, which is now 54, is equivalent to the length, which is 12 minus 2y, multiplied by the width, which is 9 minus 2y. So this will now become, when you deal with this, 54 is equal to 108 minus 24y minus 18y plus 4y squared. So this becomes 54 is equals to 108 minus 42y plus 4y squared. Upon rearranging, we are going to get this as 4y squared minus 42y plus 108 minus 54 is equals to 0. So this will become 4y squared minus 42y plus, this becomes plus 54 is equals to 0. I'm looking for two numbers such that the sum is negative. No, this one even you can divide through by, I can divide through by, let me see. Let me use the quadratic formula in that case. Let me use the quadratic formula in this case to proceed. To get the values of y here, I'm going to say y is given by minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac, divide this by 2a. So this becomes minus b, that is negative 42, that is becoming positive 42, plus or minus the root of b squared, that is negative 42 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is 54. Divide this by 2a, 2 times a, which is 4. In this case, this will be 42, plus or minus, I'm having 4 times 4 times 54, then 42 squared minus that, you get 900, and the root of 900 is exactly 30. So plus or minus 30 over 8. In the first case, we are going to have this as 42 minus 30. 42 minus 30 divided by 8, you get 1.5, or 42 plus 30 divided by 8, or 9. That way. So y has got two values, 1.5 or 9. Those are the values of y. We are going to see determining the width of the strip. That is where we are. Now, when you are tasked now to determine the width of the strip after getting y being 9 or this, the width of the strip y must be less than half the smallest dimension of the room. Remember, the width of the room was y. So the width of the room was 9. You cannot also have the width of the strip as y. We are now going to have this. We are now going to have our y being equivalent to 1.5, because we expect the width of the strip to be less than half the smallest dimension of the room, half the width of the room. So y is 1.5. Determine the width of the strip, so the answer is 1.5. Because it cannot be 9, because it should be smaller than the area. It should be, in fact, smaller than half the width of the room. But see, the dimension of the rug. The dimensions now of the rug. Let us see. The dimensions of the rug. Now, if the strip is 1.5 meters, if the strip is 1.5 meters, remember the area of the rug. The area of the rug was 54 square meters. Now, if the strip is having a width of 1.5 meters, then it will mean now the dimensions will be, the length will now be 12 minus 2y. In fact, let me have it this way. No need even for this. We are going to have length. Our length will be given by 12 minus 2y. That is 12 minus 2 into 1.5 to give you a length of 2 times 1.5, that is 3, minus 12, that is 9 meters. Then our width will be 9 minus 2 into 1.5. So this is 6 meters. Yes. So it is 9 meters and 6 meters, which gives you an area of 54. I think that one is well done for that particular question. Let us get to question number 24 of our discussion. The capacities of two similar containers are 5.4 liters and 25 liters respectively. The difference in their height is 40 centimeters. Calculate the height of the larger one for marks. So because these are liters and their capacities, those are volume scale factors. So the VSF here will be 5.4 over 25. When you simplify in your calculator, 5.4 over 25, you are going to get 27 over 125. 27 over 125. Then we can get the linear scale factor. We can get the linear scale factor. Our linear scale factor will be given by the cube root. the cube root of 27 over 125. And the cube root is exactly 3 over 5. So our linear scale factor is 3 over 5. They are saying that the difference in their heights is 40. So the difference in the ratio should be equivalent to the difference in the height. That's what I want learners to understand. The difference in the ratio, let's get the ratio difference, which will be 5 minus 3 to give you a ratio difference of 2. So this ratio difference of 2, so this 2 represents a difference in height of 40. Calculate the height of the larger one. What about the larger one whose ratio is 5? What about 5? You cross multiply. So this will be 5 multiplied by 40 divided by 2. This exactly gives you 5 times 40 divided by 2 is 100. This exactly gives you 100 centimeters. I hope you've related what I've done in that particular question number 24. Let's make progress to question number 25. Question number 25. The surface area of two similar bullets are 12 square centimeters and 108 square centimeters, respectively. If the larger one has a volume of 810 cubic centimeters, find the volume of the smaller one. So here we are going to, when you compare the two areas, you get what is called the area scale factor. Our area scale factor here will be 12 over 108, which simplifies to 12 over 108 gives you 1 over 9. Then we can get what is called the linear scale factor by getting the square root of 1 over 9. So our linear scale factor becomes 1 over 3. So if this is our linear scale factor, we can get what is called the volume scale factor. Volume scale factor will become the cube of the linear scale factor, which now becomes 1 over 27. The volume scale factor is now 1 over 27. After having that, we can now say if the volume of the larger one is 810, so the larger one is represented by 27. So if this 27 represents 810, what about the volume of the smaller one represented by 1? You cross multiply. This will be 1 times 810 divided by 27, which finally gives 810 divided by 27 is 30. This becomes 30 cubic centimeters. 30 cubic centimeters for question number 25. Let us look at 26. We are progressing very, very well and nothing to doubt. Question 26. Two solids A and B are similar. The radius of B is 2.4 centimeters more than the radius of A. The volumes of the two solids are 152 and 513 cubic centimeters. Calculate the height of B. So with these volumes, I can get their ratios, which we call the volume scale factor. And the ratios here will be 152 over 513, which simplifies to 152 over 513 simplifies to 8 over 27 as the ratios, the volume scale factors. Allow I get the linear scale factors by getting the cube root of 8 over 27, which becomes 2 over 3. that is the linear scale factors. Now with the linear scale factors, we are being told that the radius of B is 2.4 more than that of A. Let me get the ratio difference. The ratio difference here, 3 minus 2. The ratio difference here is 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 to give you a ratio difference of 1. So this ratio difference of 1 represents the difference in their heights, which is 2.4 meters. Calculate the height of B. What about B, whose ratio is 3? What about 3? You multiply. This becomes 3 times 2.4 over 1. This gives you, is it 7.2? This exactly gives you 7.2 centimeters. 7.2 centimeters as the correct answer for question number 26. We make progress, and now we are going to question 27. Remember, the paper goes all the way to question number 37. So we have 10 more questions to go, and we are doing very well. We are doing very, very well. Question 27. The diagram below shows a triangle ABC and its image A prime, B prime, C prime drawn on a Cartesian plane. You can see the object and the image in that particular case. Determine part A of the question. Part A of the question. The linear scale factor. Determine the linear scale factor of enlargement. So, to determine this linear scale factor, I can simply look at it this way. My linear scale factor will be given by image distance. I can say B prime C prime over BC. B prime C prime is how many units? You can see two big squares, so it is 2 over BC is just 1 unit over 1. So our linear scale factor is 2. Our linear scale factor is 2. Part B, the center of enlargement. How do you get the center of enlargement? It is simple. To get the center of enlargement, join A to A prime, then extend. Let me join A to A prime. Then I extend. Join also at maybe C to C prime, then you extend. You can even join B to B prime, then you extend. The point where the lines meet becomes the center of enlargement. You can see my points are meeting at this, my lines are meeting at this point 1, 1. So the center of enlargement becomes 1, 1. The center of enlargement is 1, 1. Join A to A prime, then extend. B to B prime, then extend. Where the two lines meet become your center of enlargement. That is how you could have responded to that particular question. Let us look at question number 28. Question 28. On the same grid below, draw A negative 1, 2, B negative 4, 8, and C negative 5, 5. 1 mark. A negative 1, 2. Let me see. Negative 1, 2 is here. Negative 1, 2. This is my A. B, negative 4, 8. Negative 4, 8. Negative 4 is 8 is here. That is my B. C, negative 5, 5. Negative 5, 5 is here. Let us now join. Let us join them now to form a triangle. We are joining the map to give us a triangle. You can now see. Just imagine doing it that way. You already have one mark. Let us see part B. Triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. The image of ABC under a reflection in the line Y is equal to X. State the coordinates of A prime, B prime, C prime. So first of all, we have to get this reflection line, which we call the mirror line. Y is equal to X. This is the line. The line Y is equal to X. So I'm going to use the counting technique. Let me even extend it on this other end. I'm going to use the counting technique literally to respond to this one here. I'll start. Let me get A. Let me use a red ink. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 will be here. This becomes my A prime. B prime, let me do the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'll move 12 units down again. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12 is here. This is our B prime. Then C prime, let me see. With C prime, let me move, I was supposed to extend this line. Let me extend it also. And let me do now the counting. From B, I want to count from C, I want to count down, then to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is here. This is my C prime. Let me change where I've written this A prime. Let me write it above here. This is our A prime. Now I join A prime to B prime, B prime to C prime, C prime back to A prime. That is after a reflection in the line Y is equal to X. State now the coordinates. The coordinates are very simple. Coordinates of A prime I have is 2, negative 1, 2, negative 1. B prime I have 8, negative 4, 8, negative 4. Then C prime I'll be having 5, negative 5. 5, negative 5. Those are the coordinates, and that's how you get your 4 marks. That is how you get your 4 marks for that particular question. Let me go to question number 11. Sorry, 29. Question number 29. The figure below shows a ladder 6 meters long, inclined at an angle to lean against the wall. The top of the ladder touches the wall 5 meters from the ground. Determine the sine angle made by the ladder and the ground. I'm going to talk about SOHCAHTOA here. SOHCAHTOA, whereby now I'll say sine theta will be given by opposite over the hypotenuse. So this means our sine theta will be given by the opposite is, the opposite here is 5 over the hypotenuse 6. Determine the sine of the angle. 5 over 6. I want us to be very keen with this question. You know, one thing that learners get confused, are they going to leave their answer as 5 over 6, or they are going to get the sine inverse of 5 over 6? That is why STEM Smart Academy is here for you, and I'm going to make it clearer here. Let us see. Let us reread the bottom part. They are just saying, determine the sine of that angle. Sine of this angle is 5 over 6. So our answer is 5 over 6. They have not said you determine the angle. I want you to be very keen. And that's how you respond to that question number 29. Question number 30. Question number 30. Given that 2x minus 15 degrees is equals to cos 3x minus 10, and x is an acute angle, find the value of x. We know that sine x plus cos x is equals to 90 degrees. So this the sine x is 2x plus 15 plus the cos x, whose value is 3x minus 10. This should be 90. Collecting like terms, 2x plus 3x, this become 5x. 15 minus 10, that is going to be plus 5, is equal to 90. When you collect like terms, this will be 5x is equals to 90 minus 5. 5x here will be equivalent to 85. Then x, when you divide through by that, x becomes, is it 17? Because I expect 85 divided by 5. Yes, x is exactly 17 degrees, which is an acute angle. Let's look at question number 31. Question number 31 of the paper. It says, given that sine 3x minus 35 minus cos x plus 20 degrees is equals to 0, and x is an acute angle, find the value of x. It is still the same thing. When I take the sine value of x, when I take the sine value of x plus the cos value of x, I should always be getting 90. So applying that principle here, this means 3x minus 35 plus x plus 20, this should be equivalent to 90. 3x plus x, that becomes 4x. Negative 35 plus 20, this becomes negative 15, is equal to 90. Collecting like terms, you get 4x is equals to 90 plus 15, that is 105. Then it means x will be given by 105 divided by 4. 105 divided by 4. And when you take 105, you divide by 4, you exactly get 26.25. 26.25. 26.25 degrees. 26.25 degrees as the value of x. Allow I go to question number 32. From the foot of a tower, the angle of elevation of the lower frame of a window is 24 degrees. From the top of the tower, the angle of depression of the top frame of the same window is 36. Let us reread that statement. It's a bit interesting. From the foot of a tower, the angle of elevation of the lower frame of a window is 24 degrees. From the top of the tower, the angle of depression of the top frame of the same window is 36 degrees. If the tower is 7 meters tall and 5 meters away from the building, determine the height of the window. This question is very interesting, 4 marks. I just love how the question was twisted to play around with your mind. But let us make it simpler here. We have two things. We have a tower and a window. So from the foot of a tower, the angle of elevation of the lower frame of a window. So this means we are going to have two things like this. I want us to get it this way. I want to get it this way. Let me say that is my tower, and I can have my window here. This is my window. Let me call this is the tower, and this is the window. Let us now analyze the language. They are saying from the foot of a tower, from the foot of the tower here, let me use a blue ink, the angle of elevation of the lower frame. You know, we have a tower. How are these things positioned? Let me see. From the foot of a tower, it means we have a window somewhere, but the window cannot be at the bottom here. If the tower is 7 meters tall, the tower is 7 meters tall. The height of the tower here is 7 meters. And 5 meters away from the building. Oh, so this is a tower. Let me assume this is the window. If this is the building, I've now gotten the point. I've now gotten that point on the building. If this is the building, let me assume, let us have our window at this particular case. Let us say our window frame is here. This is our window. The shaded part is the window of the building. So they are saying from the foot of the tower, the angle of elevation of the lower frame of a window, just the lower frame of the window, this angle here of the lower frame of the window, let me use blue ink. This lower frame here, this angle of elevation is this angle here is 24 degrees. From the foot of the tower to the lower frame of the window. This is the shaded part. This is our window frame. But the whole of these are building. I don't want you to get mixed up. Building. Now, from the top of the tower, the angle of depression of the top frame of the window is 36. From the top of the tower here now, the angle of depression. You know, when you talk about the angle of depression, this is the angle they are talking about. This angle of depression is 36. The angle of depression in that case is 36 degrees. I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to sketch. Find the, no, if the tower is 7 meters this and 5 meters away from the building. So from here to this building is 5 meters. Determine the height of the window. This is super simple. I'm going to show you how this is going to be. Let me join this one here and bring it here that way. So this is what is going to happen. In the first case, we are going to have this diagram. I want you to be a very keen observer. This question has been twisted in a manner that requires some logic reasoning. This is 5. This is 24. Let me call this height from here to here k. I can get the value of k using some trigonometric relationship. Opposite and adjacent, I'm going to use tan. So when you talk about tan 24 degrees is equivalent to opposite, which is k, over adjacent, which is 5. So that means k is given by 5 times tan 24. This gives you the value of k as, when you take 5 times tan 24, you exactly get 2.23. 2.23 meters. That is the value of k. Then there is also another view here that I want my learners to relate. There is also this view. We've found this angle here. Obviously this is 90. This angle here is 36. If this is 5, it means also the top side here was 5. Allow I call this part here h. I can get this angle using the trigonometric ratios also. Not the angle, but I can get that value of h. Because I know in this is opposite and adjacent still. Yes. So I'll talk about tan 36 is equivalent to the opposite, which we say to be h, over adjacent, which is 5. Then it means our h will be given by 5 multiplied by tan 36. So our h will be 5 times tan 36. This became 3.63. 3.63 meters. So let us see if this measurement is becoming 3.63. The bottom part here, we got it as 2.23. You know, now when I take 3.63 plus the height of this window plus 2.63, it will give me 7. So now to get the height of the window, or the window's height, I'll take the total height of the tower, which is 7, minus 2.23 plus 3.63, because I know the remaining measurement should be for the window. When I take 2.23 plus 3.63, This is 5.86. 5.86. And when you subtract it from 7, you exactly get the height of your window as 1.14 meters. 1.14 meters. I hope you've understood that question number 32 very, very well. I hope you've understood that question number 32 very, very well. It is my hope you've understood it well. Let us make progress to question number 33 now. Musioka spent a quarter of his salary on air ticket to travel from from Machakos to Kitui. He spent a quarter of the remainder on meals. He spent a ninth of the remainder on accommodation. He spent a third of what was remaining to buy a gift for his wife. If he was left with 12,600 shillings, calculate part A, his total salary. To traveling amount. Let me see, sorry. Okay, let us see. Traveling, just to travel alone, is my pen writing. I'm seeing people tuning in. That is excellent. That is great work. Make sure you also share this link to your other friends so that they also benefit from these free lessons. Don't forget subscribing, liking, and sharing these videos with your other friends. They are so much helpful, and I find it's important for you as a learner to be following. So let us see. I don't know why this thing is not doing what I want. My pen is not writing. Let me see. Think now. It's still not doing what I want. Let me see. This is okay. This one we finished it well. Don't know why the pen is trying to misbehave, but let me fix. I'm sorting out the issues with my pen. It seems to misbehave. Yet the concept, we are almost done. Just some 3-4 questions left. Let me see how I'll make my pen write. Let me try. So we have let me try maybe opening the same paper again somewhere else and see if that problem will persist. Just give me a minute. I'm just doing a demo. Okay, from this side it's writing. From the other side, I think it refused. I can proceed with this one. Musyoka spent a quarter of his salary on air ticket to travel from Machakos to Kitui. He spent a quarter of the remainder on meals. He spent a ninth of the remainder on accommodation. He spent a third of what was remaining to buy a gift for his wife. If he was left with 12,600, calculate part A, his total salary. So just to travel alone, traveling, this person spent a quarter of the salary. He spent a quarter of the remainder on meals. So meals, this person spent a quarter of the remainder. What is the remainder? If you spend a quarter, the remainder will be 1 minus 1 over 4 to give you 3 over 4. So this person spent a quarter of the remainder. So this becomes 3 over 16 on meals. Then he spent a third of the remainder on accommodation. Accommodation, this person spent a third of 1 minus a quarter plus 3 over 16. I want to see what remained first. When I take a quarter plus 3 over 16, I get 7 over 16. 1 minus that, so the remainder was 9 over 16 times now a third. This becomes 3 over 16. This person spent 3 over 16 on accommodation. He spent a third of the remainder to buy gift. So to get the remainder first here, I'll now have 1 minus a quarter plus 3 over 16 plus 3 over 16. Exactly this gives, when you take 3 over 16 plus 3 over 16 plus a quarter, then 1 minus that, you get 3 over 8. 3 over 8 is the remainder. After having this as the remainder, we are told that he spent a third of what was remaining to buy gift. Just gifting the wife, it was a third of 3 over 8, meaning 1 over 8. If he was left with this, let us get the remainder again. Now the remainder here will be, what was remaining was 3 over 8. Will it be 2 over 8? Let me see. The remainder will be 1 minus a quarter plus 3 over 16 plus 3 over 16 plus 1 over 8, which gives you, when you take a quarter plus 3 over 16 plus 3 over 16 plus 1 over 8, you get, then 1 minus that, you get a quarter. Yes, you get a quarter. Yes. So this is what remained. So this, whatever remained, is equivalent to 12,600. So that should be the starting point. We are now going to say, if a quarter, which is the remaining fraction, is equivalent to the remaining amount, which is 12,600, what about the total amount? 1. Cross multiply. This will be 1 times 12,600. Divide this by a quarter. This becomes 12,600 divided by a quarter, you get 50,400. 50,400 shillings. 50,400 shillings as the total amount. And this is now simple. Meals, it was 3 over 16. So this will now become 3 over 16 of the total amount, 50,400. This will become 3 over 16 times 50,400, you get 9,450. 9,450 shillings. As the amount spent on meals. But next they are saying the money spent on accommodation. The money spent on accommodation. Accommodation, you can see it is 3 over 16 again. So it's 3 over 16 multiplied by 94, sorry, not by 9450, but multiply this by 5400. Multiply this by 5400. This exactly gives 9450. This exactly gives 9450 as the amount spent on accommodation. As the amount spent on accommodation. I think that is what you are to do in that particular question. Let us make progress to the next question now. That is question number 34. Question number 34. Question number 34. A number m is formed by writing all the prime numbers between 0 to 10 in ascending order. Another number p is formed by writing all the square numbers between 0 to 10 in ascending order. Find m. Find m. So first of all, let's get m. M, they are saying all the prime numbers. So let's list the prime numbers between 0 to 10. The first prime number is 2, followed by 3, followed by 5, then by 7. But now in ascending order, so the number m is 2357. P, the square numbers. The square numbers, these are numbers that have been squared, therefore you can get their square root. So the square numbers here, we do have only 2, because the square numbers here are 4 and 9. Yes, 4, 9. Therefore, P is 49 in ascending order. Okay, m minus p. So when you're told m minus p, this will be 23. Wait, let us agree here. We want square numbers between 1 to 10. We want square numbers between 1 to 10. Remember, 1 can also be squared. So 1 is also among the numbers. So the number now becomes 149, not just 49. 149, because the square root of 1 is still 1. So this becomes 2357 minus p, which is 149. So when you take 2357 minus 149, you are getting 2208. 2208. 2208 as the answer. But D, express m minus m as a product of its prime factors, m minus p. So let us see 2208. I'll start with the 2. So 2208 divided by 2, that is 1104. Again divided by 2, 552. Again divided by 2, 276. Again by 2, 138. Again by 2, 69. By 3, 23. By 23, 1. So the answer becomes 2 power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 power 5 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 23. So 2 power 5 times 3 times 23 to get 2208. That is how you would have solved that part. Part E, determine the smallest value of n such that m minus p power n is a perfect square. So look at it. Mn minus p, that is 2208 n to become a perfect square. Remember, a perfect square is a number that you can easily get its square root. A number that you can easily get its square root is what we call a perfect square. Is what is called a perfect square. So let us see how we respond exactly to that. I know this question is a very good question. I feel it's a question that you need to do before taking your breakfast to open up your mind. That is my perception though. Keep dropping comments and following keenly on areas you need maybe more clarification. You can reach out to us via our consultation number 07 41 30 43 11. You can reach out anytime so that we get you sorted. We get you sorted. So let us see what we are going to do here. Let us see what we are going to do here. First of all, you know, when we talked about 2208, the factors of 2208, we found them as 2 power 5 multiplied by 3 power 1 multiplied by 23 to the power of 1 also. So for a number to be a perfect square, all the exponents or all the powers in its prime factorization must be even. All the powers must be even numbers. In our current factorization, we've seen that the exponents, that is the powers, 5, 1, and 1, we need to multiply by n to make these exponents even. To make the exponents of 2 even, we need to multiply by 2 power 1, since 5 plus 1 becomes 6. To make the exponents, so let us see this. How are we going to make this one here? How are we going to make this one here an even number? We are going to multiply. So I'm going to have this as 2 power 5. I'll multiply this by 2 power 1. Then times 3 power 1. To make this power an even, I'll multiply this by again 3 power another 1. Then on this other case, this is times 23 power 1. I'll have to multiply this by another 23 power 1 to make it even. So this now will become, this will be 2 power 6 times 3 power 2. No, I don't want to do it that way. But now the new number will be the one formed by these numbers here. Let me highlight using a red pen. It will be the one formed by this. I've added this 2 power 1. I've added this 3 power 1. And I've added another 3 power 1 here. So those two, these will form the new number n. So my new number n will be given by 2 power 1 multiplied by the 3 power 1 multiplied by the 23 to the power of 1. So this becomes 138. 138. That is how you relate it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you relate them. Let us look at question 35. Remember, the paper goes up to question number 37, but we are winding up. Question number 35. We are being told in question number 35, solve for x in the equation 32 power x minus 3 divided by 8 times 8 power x plus 4 is equals to 64 divided by 2 power x. Allow express everything here to base 2. So 32 can be written as 2 to base, is it base 5? Let me see. 2 power 5, sorry. Yes, 2 power 5, that is 32, of x minus 3. Divide this by 8 can be written as 2 to the power of 3 into x plus 4. This should be equivalent to 64 can be written as 2 power 6. 2 power 6 divided by 2 power 2 x. Let me open the brackets on the left hand side. So this is like saying 2 power 5x 2 power 5x minus 15 divided by 2 power 3x plus 12 is equal to 6. So is equals to 2 power 6. 2 power 6 divided by 2 power 3 power 2 power x, literally. This should be 2 power x, not even power 2x. 2 power x. Then we have a law that says, there is a law that says a power m divided by a power n is like saying a power m minus n. I want to apply that law on the left hand side. This will be now 2 to the power of 5x minus 15 minus 3x plus 5 should be equal to 2 to the power of 6 you minus x. So in this case, you can drop the bases and proceed with the powers. So this will be 5x minus 15 minus 3x plus 5 is equals to 6 minus x. Let us open the brackets together. So this will be 5x minus 15 minus 3x minus 5 is equivalent to 6 minus x. 5x minus 3x, this will be 2x, minus 15 minus 5, that is going to be minus 20, is equals to 6 minus x. Collecting like terms, I'm going to have this as 2x plus x is equals to 6 plus 20. So this becomes 3x is equals to 26. Then x becomes 8 whole number 2 over 3. X becomes 8 whole number 2 over 3. I hope I've done it well. I've not committed an error there, because you can see the question is 4 marks. That means you had to be very, very keen when responding to it, ladies and gentlemen. Math has never been difficult. It's only that you need the daily practice thing to perfect your skills. But otherwise, math has never. Have I done it really the right way? Let me reconfirm. Because let me just reconfirm my side. I had 6 minus x. Let me confirm the left hand side. Most probably, I might have done it wrong. I had 2x minus. This was, let me see. I had 5x minus 15 minus 3x plus. Sorry, this was 12. How did it come back to 5? The value here, this one here should have been 12. Let me fix. I think that is where I might have done a mistake. This one here, it was 12. Let me just fix it. So it was plus 12 plus 12. Coming here, it becomes now 5x minus 3x. This one is becoming minus 12. So this means it's going to change almost everything here. Let me just clear up everything here, because I feel almost everything is changing. I made a small mistake there. That's why the number I got was, I literally suspected it, but it was just an oversight. Minus 3x minus 12 here. Collecting like terms, this becomes, no, before collecting, 5x minus 3x, this becomes 2x minus 15 minus 12, that becomes minus 27, is equals to 6 minus x. Again, this becomes now 2x plus x is equals to 6 plus 27. This is 3x is equal to 33. If 3x is equals to 33, then x becomes equivalent to 11. Our x now becomes equivalent to 11. You need to follow the rules of indices. Let us look at the next question. That is question number 36. Question number 36. Given that 5 power 2x minus 3 is equals to that 125, find the value of x. So this is 5 power 2x minus 3 is equal to 3125. Can it be expressed to base 5? Let me see. Yes, 3125 can be written as 5 power 5. That should be the starting point. And if you've done it that way, then we are going now to drop the bases and proceed with the powers. So I'll have here 2x minus 3 is equals to 5. Collecting like terms, I'll have 2x is equal to 5 plus 3. This will be 2x is equals to 8. And if 2x is equals to 8, it will mean the value of x is exactly equivalent to 4. X becomes exactly equivalent to 4. Question 37. The last question of our discussion, ladies and gentlemen. Apply the laws of indices to work out 243 power 3 times 9 power 2 all over 729 divided by 3. Allow I deal first with the numerator. When I have the number, let me deal with the numerator first. 243 power 3 times 9 squared. So this will be 243. You know, to base 3, 243 can be written as 3 power 5. So this will become 3 power 5 into 3 times this will be 3 power 2 into 2. Then we have the law where you can multiply the powers. This will become now 3 power 15. 3 power 15 being multiplied by 3 power what? 3 power 4. Under the laws of indices, when you are multiplying, you add the powers. So this will become 3 power 15 plus 4. This becomes 3 to the power of 19. That is your numerator. We are done with that numerator. Let us see the denominator part. Our denominator, we have 729 being divided by 27. So 729 can be written as 3 power 6. So this is like saying 3 power 6 divided by 3 power 3. Under the laws of indices, when you are dividing, you subtract the powers. So this can be written as 3 power 6 minus 3. The answer becomes 3 power 3 for the denominator. Now, we have the numerator divided by the denominator. So when you have numerator over denominator, this means I'm having 3 power 19. We are dividing this by 3 power 3. So 3 power 19 divided by 3 power 3, this becomes, when you are dividing, you subtract the powers, this becomes 3 power 19 minus 3. The answer becomes 3 power 16. When you apply the laws of indices, the answer becomes 3 power 16. 3 power 16. That is what you get when you conduct that division, that question, by use of the laws of indices. So the answer becomes 3 to the power of 16. I've not used a calculator. I've purely used the laws of indices in solving the question. Keep watching, subscribe, like, and share the videos with your other friends. Thank you.